Is this the shoe that the NBA wouldn't let you wear?
Yeah.
Now, why wouldn't they let you wear it? Okay, so, but what's wrong with the coloring? What rule do we violate here?
Well, it doesn't have any white in it.
Uh-huh.
On October 18, 1984, Michael Jordan challenged Commissioner David Stern by wearing unsanctioned shoes during a Chicago Bulls game in Madison Square Garden against the New York Knicks, which violated National Basketball Association policy. Reactions varied. Fans loved it and wanted to buy the shoes. However, the league fined Jordan, while Nike covered the fees. This sparked a revolution in sneaker culture, contributed to the reformation of league policy, and popularized endorsement deals.
Michael Jordan was born in Brooklyn, New York, on February 17, 1963, but soon moved to North Carolina. 1 year later, the Blue Ribbon Shoe Company, later to be changed to Nike, was founded by Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman. The first shoe Nike created, the Cortez, laid the foundation for the future's most world-renowned sneaker brand. As a kid, Jordan was driven by one main thing, the thrill of success. It all started with an appetite to prove himself. I had a passion for getting out on the playground and being my own person. I wanted to be different, to stand out, playing kickball and being the star because I was able to kick the ball on top of the building, hitting home runs, stealing bases, pitching, scoring 30 points, blocking a shot, dunking. All those things drove me. Jordan's competitive spirit began with his one-on-one basketball games against his older brother, Larry. These games taught Jordan how to be a creative player, as he had to find a way to score against his stronger brother and learned a life skill of perseverance to win. He would use these valuable life lessons later. I think Michael got so good because Larry used to beat him all the time. Jordan's father, James, would explain later. He took it hard. In the summer of Jordan's senior year, his effort and talent stood out at the University of North Carolina's basketball camp. This earned him a spot on the UNC basketball team, even his first game for his freshman year, becoming the fourth ever to do so. In 1984, Jordan was selected to represent the United States in the Olympics. His coach, future Hall of Famer Bobby Knight, said of Jordan, in the categories of competitiveness, ability, skill, and then athletic ability, he's the best athlete. As he's one of the best competitors, he's one of the most skilled players. That, to me, makes him the best basketball player I've ever seen play. Jordan's performances caught the attention of NBA teams as well as Nike scout Sonny Vaccaro. With the third pick in the NBA draft, the Chicago Bulls drafted Jordan and set the scene for the bidding war over which shoe company would sign him. Vaccaro was the only scout for Nike basketball, as the shoe company was mainly focused on track and field, but believed Jordan could change the shoe company. The problem was that Jordan preferred Adidas shoes.
And at the time that everybody was starting recruiting me about what shoes to wear, I was pro Adidas, the whole time. And then, once I went through the presentation with Nike, they really made a grave effort of trying to, have my input on the shoes, design any shoes that I wanted to wear.
Vaccaro convinced Nike to offer Jordan $500,000 a year for 5 years, as well as 5% royalty on each shoe sold, a revolutionary and record-breaking deal for the time period. Jordan's mother, Dolores, was also a pivotal part of the signing. Today, with Nike's Jordan brand and the Air Jordans dominating the basketball shoe market decades after Jordan walked off the court for the last time, it's difficult to imagine any other reality. However, in the fifth installment of ESPN's The Last Dance documentary, Jordan described how he wanted to go with Adidas, and it was his mother that changed his mind. This quote shows how much Michael Jordan's mother contributed to the recruiting process and what it took to convince Jordan. That same year, the NBA created new rules to be orderly. Nike saw the 51% rule, meaning shoes had to be more than half white. They brilliantly broke the rules and turned it into a marketing campaign. On February 1st, 1984, David Stern became commissioner, with the predecessor being Larry O'Brien. Stern was known for being strict and immediately implemented new rules. For example, National Basketball Association Commissioner David Stern has used some of his most expansive authority in implementing a variety of rules designed to clean up the games, the players, and the image of the NBA. These rules include instituting a dress code for players and various uniform requirements, using new synthetic basketballs, prohibiting players from attending certain nightclubs, and introducing a point of emphasis that players will be called for technical fouls for excessive complaining.
Jordan, with Nike's backing, revolutionized sneakers, fashion customs, and spurred an increase of endorsement deals. Nike was willing to take a risk on Jordan, but the shoe company stipulated that they could walk away if sales didn't reach the ambitious total of $3 million by the end of the third year. Fueled by NJ's charisma and effortless showmanship, as long as Nike's marketing, the shoe company racked up over $70 million in sales in the first 2 months of selling Air Jordans. Once the Jordan brand and Nike proved their success, sneaker and apparel companies revolutionized their marketing to include massive deals with athletes, including unproven rookies. The Jordan effect, as it became known, influenced NBA players' abilities to obtain sponsorships. Companies hoped that the players would not only develop into superstars on the court, but also become marketing machines off of it. Jordan was the greatest marketing icon in the history of marketing icons. Vaccaro stated, "All the kids to come, there will never be a Jordan, because Jordan started at zero."
Jordan shoes drew a lot of attention and reaction from not only fans, but also the NBA Commissioner's Office. The league reacted to this event by levying a fine of $1,000 for the first game Jordan wore the shoes. The NBA then bumped up the fine to $5,000 per game, and then threatened suspension. Rob Strasser, a pioneering figure in the sports apparel industry, playing an instrumental role at Nike and Adidas, said he'd write a check for $80,000. The launch of Air Jordans in 1984 saw sales of $126 million in the first year, far exceeding Nike's $3 million three-year projection. This financial reaction proved that Nike had made the correct decision in signing Jordan and paying fines levied by the NBA, which allowed for further marketing. Nike reacted to the ban with commercial campaigns. For example,
on September 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe. On October 18th, the NBA threw them out of the game. Fortunately, the NBA can't stop you from wearing them.
Jordan's shoe banning and refusal to comply with league rules were a major reason for the league to reform its 51% shoe policy. Once rigid on uniform rules, the NBA eventually loosened its stance, paving the way for today's neons, retro tributes, and mismatched pairs. The banned colorway sneakers were the catalyst. The banned colorway sneakers, being the pair Jordan wore that got banned, further caused reform in the NBA, which forced them to change their policies. The controversy also had a lasting impact on the NBA shoe rules. Over the years, the league gradually relaxed its restrictions on shoe colors. By the late 2000s, players were allowed to wear full team colors on their shoes, and theme nights with more extravagant sneaker designs became a thing. In 2018, the NBA finally removed all sneaker restrictions, allowing players to fully express themselves. Jordan's early rule in changing the rules clearly made a huge impact.
Nike commercials helped expose people to the shoes. Nike's willingness to pay Jordan's fines was intended to be a marketing plan to sell the sneaker that was surrounded by controversy, and the plan worked. Nike had expected to sell 100,000 pairs of the Air Jordan 1s in its first year, but instead sold 1.5 million pairs in the first 6 weeks alone. The ads Nike made skyrocketed the Jordan shoes and brand's popularity. When Nike paid the fees, they lost a bunch of money. But that was all part of the plan. They knew this would bring in massive amounts of attention and money.
Nike's success was reflective of Jordan's career in the NBA, with him collecting 6 NBA championships, 5 league MVPs, 2 Olympic gold medals, the highest career ever scoring average, and being inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. Nike is now worth over $37 billion and is one of the world's most renowned sneaker companies of all time. Nike's most prominent endorsement deals include Nike, Gatorade, Hanes, and McDonald's. The revolutionary endorsement deal between Jordan and Nike paved the way for endorsement deals today. Jordan's influence expanded beyond basketball and into sports marketing, athlete endorsement deals, fashion, popular culture, and the rise of sneaker culture. His influence on endorsement deals can be seen today with NBA athletes who are used in marketing, shoes, cell phones, drinks, and watches.
Michael Jordan was a revolutionary athlete who reformed the NBA's policy while fans reacted by purchasing Nikes at record levels that continue today. The ban on Jordan's Nike shoes only impacted the NBA, but also influenced sneaker culture and shoes NBA players would wear in the future. Jordan's partnership with Nike and the NBA's reaction paved the way for athlete endorsement, player earnings, while creating fashion and shoe icons.